All right, Central Georgia, well, happy New Year's Day. It is the start of a brand new year, and we are going to talk a little bit about the forecast, the rest of what you can expect for, what you can expect for the rest of New Year's Day, and then what we can expect heading into this upcoming weekend. Now, the thing with this upcoming weekend is that we do have some rain chances coming back into the picture for the first time in a while. So we're going to talk about those. There are also going to be a couple of isolated thunderstorm chances as well, and I'm going to touch on those as well. But that's obviously not the case as you kick off New Year's Day across the area. We have blue skies out there right now. There's not a single sky cam that's missing out on the blue skies. It is crystal clear, and that's how New Year's Eve was as well. So we're just on a continuation of the same kind of thing as we go throughout today. Nice. It's going to be a good day for the rest of today, and the rain chances really won't be a factor through at least today. Now, something else that's a little bit different this afternoon is that we have a little bit less of this polar air in our area. So if you were with us for the last couple of days, I've showed this map kind of all week long, and it has looked locked in. I mean, almost the entire area has been under this really dark blue color and has been under almost really this purple color as well. Notice we're starting to break that up just a little bit. We're one of those areas that is in some of the broken up, color. We have a little bit of green starting to pop up here, and it's not just us, but it's kind of across the deep south and then into Louisiana and Texas as well. We're getting some darker colors on there, which means that we're starting to see the temperatures warm up. We're almost dotted a little bit with greens and blues here, but it means that our temperatures are sitting somewhere in the low to mid 50s. So this is actually warmer than this time yesterday, a good bit warmer, because yesterday this was actually the time that we hit the high temperature. So we hit our high temperature somewhere in the mid 50s yesterday. Obviously, that's where we're sitting right now. So we're sitting a good 10 to maybe even 12 or 13 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. This map really does paint the picture for the rest of the day as well, because we are going to continue to be warmer as we head towards the high temperature of the day. The real reason being we're starting to get our flow coming in more from the west as opposed to the northwest. So for the last couple of days, we've had northwesterly flow filtering into our region. That has kept things really, really chilly. Now that we're starting to see things come in from the west, there's a little more warm air advection, so we're going to be a little bit warmer throughout today. And this pattern of being a little bit warmer is actually going to continue into the weekend as well. So those westerly winds are important because they're also going to have something to do with our rain chances this weekend. So because of that, feels like numbers not really a thing today. Wind chill not really going to be a major factor. The temperatures are going to feel pretty close to their actual air temperature as you go throughout this afternoon. So not too much of a or a wind chill out there right now. So like I said, that applies also to the afternoon high temperature for today. Yesterday's high temperature was 55 degrees. As we go throughout today, we're going to reach into the low 60s. So a little bit warmer as we hit the high of today. The high temperature, or the average high temperature, is right around 59 degrees for this time of year. So we're officially above average for this time of year, and we're going to stay that way as we head into the weekend and then into the long-term forecast as well. It's going to be an above average kind of forecast here for a little while. So temperatures are going to be abnormally warm for this time of year. We've got plenty of sunshine today. Like I said, the rain chances, they don't really come into the picture today, but as we head into the weekend, then we have to start talking about them. So that means that the satellite and radar right now is completely quiet. There's nothing going on across the area at the moment. Skies are nice and clear, and across the southeast, which is why I showed this view, it's quiet. There's nothing that's kind of showing it's on its way to us, which means we're going to stay nice and quiet through the rest of today. When we zoom into our area, we're not even dealing with cloud cover. Actually, funny enough, similar to yesterday, if you were watching on the stream yesterday, I pointed out that little blip that you can see on the radar there. That actually is a flock of birds, and now they're on the radar once again. So probably a flock of birds over in that area taking off once again early this morning. So that's pretty funny that we saw it twice, but not rain, a flock of birds. And if we just take it off the satellite and just look at the radar, again, there's nothing going on in this area. The satellite and radar took a little bit of a New Year's vacation, but it will eventually have to come back to work because by Friday, rain chances are coming in. So what you're seeing now is a low pressure system tracking into our area, and it's going to bring us the chance to see some scattered showers throughout Saturday and a couple of isolated thunderstorms as well. So let's play that more locally on the Central Georgia scale now. Now, again, through today, there's really not going to be much of a rain chance, but by tomorrow morning, so by the time you're waking up tomorrow, you'll start to notice things are a little bit different outside. We're going to have some increased cloud cover tomorrow, and overall, it's just going to have a little bit of a drearier feel to it. So not the best start to the day on Friday. Again, things are going to look a little bit messy. It's just not going to look quite as crystal clear as what you see outside right now. But important to note the day on Friday is actually going to be really, really dry. So we don't have rain chances on Friday until we get into the evening. So if we play this forward into Friday evening, you can see even those rain chances on Friday evening are going to be low end. We're talking about a couple of scattered showers that start to pop up across the area as that low brings in some more moisture to our area. So is Friday going to be a good looking day? Probably not. You'll likely deal with cloud cover through most of the day. By Friday evening, if you've got outdoor evening plans, maybe you're heading out to dinner Friday night, I'd say indoor seating is probably a good idea if you've got late night dinner plans, because there will be some scattered showers starting to pop up across the region. It's not going to be a heavy rain. If you happen to see anything, it will be very light. So it shouldn't really prohibit you from getting outdoors at all. It just may make things a little inconvenient heading into the late night hours on Friday. But the real rain chance, that's going to be for Saturday. So Saturday morning, and some of those scattered showers still sticking around. But by the time we kind of kick off the day on Saturday, and whoops, I actually meant to add a pause point on that. I'm going to drag the laptop over really quick so that I can walk you through this a little closer. It's just that holiday weekend. I am totally not paying attention to what I was doing. So let me walk that through one more time, because this is obviously the main thing that we're talking about and probably the main thing that folks are interested in. So let me make sure that I walk us through that a little slower. All right. Well, maybe I won't be able to do that because our laptop does not seem to be responding, but I can play this back and we can go forward into, I'll track it through one more time. So let me move this out of the way if we're not even gonna need this. All right, let's play this out into, again, we got to late night Friday night. Actually, you know what? I am going to step off for a moment and just play this through. This is really important. I'm sorry, I know this is a little bit kooky, but I just really want to make sure that we get this part of the forecast, because this is basically the most important part. So I apologize for my oversight for not adding the pause points, but I'll walk it through off screen here for just a minute, and then I'll come back and I'll talk it through one more time. So, okay, I said the main rain chance comes through early Saturday morning. Again, we're going to walk through that throughout the day. You can see a couple scattered showers that start to pop up as we kind of go throughout the day on Saturday, mainly in the afternoon. I think when we get a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon, that's when we're really going to start to see things fire off. And it's really kind of an all-day Saturday thing. As we go into the evening and the late night hours, that's when things start to wind down, and then we should be clear as we kick off Sunday. So that was what I just showed you there on the computer. Now that I've added a couple of pause points, I will walk through it one more time. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm sorry about that. So, okay, as we go into, again, Saturday early morning, we're already starting to see these pop up. I want you to pay attention to how they're just kind of scattered and isolated showers. This is not necessarily going to be an event where it's a widespread rain all day long, but as we go throughout the day, there's always going to be a chance to catch one or two brief isolated or scattered showers. So that is the case as we wake up on Saturday, and then as we go throughout the day on Saturday as well. You can see we just have these scattered showers. I will say this graph run has this kind of being a little bit more widespread by the afternoon. The last run did not quite have that, so I know this may look a little bit more widespread than what it shows for the morning. I'm not totally sure if that's going to be the case just yet. This looks a little bit more organized than what the morning was showing, so we're going to keep checking on this as we get more model runs throughout the rest of today and through tomorrow. We're definitely going to keep the chance for scattered, isolated showers and a couple of thunderstorms around for the day on Saturday, but what you see here might not necessarily be the case. I think we need to get one or two more model runs before we really run with what it's showing right here. But the story is basically the same situation. We're going to have the chance to deal with these scattered, isolated showers all the way throughout the day on Saturday. And then as we head into the late night hours Saturday, things wind down and we are quiet as we kick off Sunday. So overall, that's kind of the main rain chance that you're going to see on the 7-day forecast. As we kick off Sunday, all of that is going to leave us, and then we round out the weekend and kick off the upcoming work week with quiet, clear skies, maybe a blip or two there for Wednesday, but overall it is going to be a pretty quiet week. We enter another dry stretch. So the Storm Prediction Center has actually gone with a level 1 of 5 risk for this situation that we have going on Saturday, the scattered showers and a couple of isolated thunderstorms. I don't want you to get too hung up on this. Obviously, we want to pay attention to it, we want to take into account any guidance that the Storm Prediction Center gives us. But in terms of what this actually means for us, I think it's a little bit more of a heads up. You know, we haven't really had showers or storms in a while. So I think this is more of them saying, hey, we need to watch these storms that try to pop up to see if any of them get strong to severe. I don't necessarily think it means anything that pops up is going to become strong to severe. It just kind of means, hey, if you happen to have a thunderstorm roll over you, maybe check your phone, make sure there's not any alerts for that thunderstorm. but it's only probably going to be a couple of storms out of everything that pops up on Saturday. So that's kind of why I said a strong storm or two. It's not going to be the majority of things that we see on Saturday, but there is a possibility that we could see one or two storms try to get a little strong or try to get severe. What would the criteria be for a storm like this to become strong or severe? It would probably just be some gusty winds. For this time of year, we're not really talking about a tornado threat, so probably some gusty winds and overall maybe some frequent lightning. And I think that would be the most that we're talking about for this situation on Saturday. We'll check for changes, but right now the overall severe parameters that we have for Saturday are not looking super impressive. You know, we talk a lot about the ingredients that go into thunderstorms. We don't really have a lot of the ingredients that we need for strong thunderstorms this upcoming Saturday. So my personal opinion, I'm not super worried about this. I think this is a good heads up that, hey, we'll have a couple of storms. We should be watching these storms to make sure nothing tries to get a little bit spicy. But other than that, I think we'll be okay for the day on Saturday. Obviously, just pay attention. If you're one of the folks that does have a thunderstorm roll over you, definitely just make sure to try to check your phone and make sure you're not getting any sort of weather alert about that storm. Other than that, we should pretty much be smooth sailing aside from the scattered showers and a couple of the storms on Saturday. Now, the thing with Saturday is, of course, we do have a rain chance on there. Unfortunately, it's not a rain chance that's going to do a ton in terms of rainfall totals. We're talking about scattered showers, so they're not necessarily a widespread all-day rain event. It's kind of things that pop up, but then they will subside after a matter of time. So in terms of the rainfall totals, we're not necessarily getting anything that's super crazy. We are going to do a little bit better than getting only about 1/4 of an inch like we did the other day. But in the highest amounts, we're still talking about up to around an inch in the heaviest spots, maybe just over an inch. And in the lowest spots, we're talking about maybe seeing a light sprinkle or not even getting up to 1/4 of an inch. So it kind of just depends on where these showers end up going over in the same areas, how many spots see showers pop up. You know, it's kind of that scattered, isolated nature. So we can't necessarily say, yeah, Sparta's only going to see that much, but Eastman is going to see that much. You know what I mean? So we'll kind of see how this goes throughout the day. But overall, the trend here is that the rainfall totals aren't obviously going to be in a crazy range where we're talking about getting up to about 3 inches of rain. It's going to be a lower end rainfall total event, but we'll take what we can get, especially because the most rainfall we've had in the last 5 days has been this quick event when we had the front coming through. And in the heaviest spots, we only totaled up to around 1/4 of an inch. So we have not really had an impressive start to the new year. We finished last year below average in terms of rainfall for almost the last 4 months. So we really do need to make sure that we're getting enough rainfall as we head into the new year to kind of make up for the deficit that we finished 2025 in. Of course, you already know we've been in drought conditions for quite some time. Now, I will say the drought conditions have improved. That is important to note. Things have definitely gotten better with the drought. If you were watching with us a couple of months ago, we were more concerned about being in extreme drought categories than just being up here in the moderate drought. We were kind of creeping into the red category across the board. There was a lot more areas sitting in the severe drought than it stands right now. So overall, we're doing better. We just need 1 or 2 good rainfall events to really kick us out of these drought conditions and kind of put us on a better trajectory for the rest of the month. So that's kind of how things stand right now. Still under drought conditions. We're in the moderate drought category, but if you noticed, so is most of the state. It's not really just us that's dealing with abnormally dry conditions. A lot of areas across the state are. The worst it gets here in central Georgia is severe drought. That's mainly over in Peach, Macon, Taylor, and Crawford counties. So we will keep paying attention to this. I do think what we see on Saturday will probably help keeping the drought from getting worse, but I don't necessarily think it's going to correct any of the drought conditions in our area. So overall, that's kind of where rainfall stands. Again, sorry about my little blip there with everything going on the future view, but that's what you can kind of expect to see as we head into the weekend. We're dry today. Friday late night, the rain starts to come in, and then Saturday throughout the day, you have the chance to catch a couple of isolated or scattered showers and a couple of embedded thunderstorms as well. By Sunday, all of this moves on, and then we are dry Sunday and kicking off the upcoming week. Now, what about temperatures? Because I mentioned today we are going to get a little bit warmer, and then as we head into the long term, we're going to get even warmer than that. So you may remember Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were record-setting and record-meeting days in terms of the afternoon high temperature. We had a high temperature on Christmas Eve of 81 degrees, and it broke the record of 78 degrees was the previous record. On Christmas Day, we had a record-meeting high temperature of 78 degrees. So we have not been a stranger to abnormally warm temperatures, even over the last couple of weeks. So you might be wondering, how do these temperatures shape up to kind of what we saw around the Christmas time? Well, obviously we are a little bit closer to average for this time of year. Remember, the average high is 59 degrees, but as we head into the long-term forecast, we are going to be creeping our way well above average for this time of year. We're definitely above average right now. Highs today are going to be in the low 60s, which obviously is above average. But as we head into the weekend, I will say Saturday is a little bit of an outlier because we have the rain chances. We're going to be filtering in a lot of moisture and a lot of warm air down from the Gulf. That's kind of why we jump up on Saturday. But overall, even beyond what you see here for Monday, we're going to stay above average. And actually, it almost gets a little bit worse after we turn the corner on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, which are not on this graphic, but you will see on the 7-day forecast, are going to be in the upper 60s and the low 70s. So we're definitely going to be above average. I don't necessarily know that we will be record meeting or breaking. Depends on if we keep that 70 on the board, but we will be above where we should be for this time of year. Now, this is lower than the 70s. It's probably days you'll still need a jacket, but I don't think it's days that you'll necessarily need to bundle up because we're not anywhere near freezing or anything like that, especially when the average for this time of year is actually not even close to that either. Now, what about the morning lows? Kind of a similar story. We're still going to be above average for this time of year in the mornings as well. Now, these numbers look a little bit wonkier. Overnight lows tend to have a little bit more fluctuation to them than afternoon highs. It was definitely a cold start this morning, but even by tomorrow morning, we're going to be above where we should be. A couple of degrees, so not a huge difference, but still kind of important to the story that we're telling here with temperatures getting warmer. Remember, Saturday is a little bit of an outlier. We have a high or a low temperature down in the 50s because we're filtering in all the moisture and the warmer air down from the Gulf. So don't pay too much attention to the temperatures on Saturday. They still fit the bill to our warmer pattern, but it's not necessarily going to be the end all be all for how temperatures will be over the next couple of days. Sunday and Monday are kind of how things are going to feel as we head into next work week. We're going to be down in the low 40s. So the average low for this time of year is 36 degrees. Obviously, low 40s is a little bit cooler than we should be, or a little bit warmer than we should be for this time of year. And again, it's similar to the afternoon highs. We're going to be above average. Are we going to be record setting or record meeting? I don't know about that, but you'll definitely notice it will be a few degrees warmer than it kind of should feel for this time of year. But on the flip side, over the last couple of days, we've actually been a few degrees colder than we should be for this time of year. So I wouldn't necessarily use the last few days as your litmus test. It was really cold as we kind of rounded out 2025. We had high temperatures the other day when the cold front came through that were only in the upper 40s. We're not supposed to be that cold just yet. Obviously, we're supposed to get colder in January, but here in Georgia, we're still supposed to be somewhere in the 50s, not in the 40s. And the overnight lows are not supposed to be in the 20s. You can see here on this graphic, we're supposed to be in the mid 30s, not down there in the upper 20s. So yes, we've had some cool days here. It might feel more like it should for this time of year, but still, the numbers that we've seen over the last couple of days are cooler than they should be. And now we're turning it in the other direction. We're going warmer than we should for this time of year. So kind of a temperature roller coaster here over the next couple of days. We've been on a little bit of a temperature roller coaster here, but if you're a Georgia native, you kind of know that's how we do things around here. Temperatures rarely hover just around average, especially here in central Georgia. So this is a look at the 7-day forecast. The only notable rain chance that we have on there is that one that I didn't add any pause points to on the graph model. We really only have to worry about Saturday. I don't even necessarily think it's going to be a total washout of a day. I just think if you're heading out on Saturday, plan that you could see showers and storms at really any point throughout the entire day. There will be moments where things are dry, where you can try to get outdoors, maybe take down Christmas decorations, things like that. But if you're looking for the better of the 2 days of the weekend to do that, I would definitely recommend getting out to do that on Sunday. Sunday is going to be a completely quiet day. The skies will be clearer. There will be no chance of rain for Sunday. Also, it will just be a little bit safer. For us to have even the potential to have a couple of thunderstorms on Saturday, I'd recommend holding off on taking down outdoor Christmas decorations and waiting until we have a clear day for Sunday. And then, as we head into the upcoming work week, we lose rain chances entirely. We'll stay completely dry all the way through next week. I mentioned we will climb up into the upper 60s, maybe even the low 70s. That's what's forecasted right now. We'll see. That's at the end of the 7-day forecast. Those numbers tend to fluctuate a lot, but just keep in mind the general trend that we are heading above average for this time of year. So it does get nicer, but we have to make it through a couple of days here that are not going to be so pleasant. Remember, Friday, you actually should still have the opportunity to be outdoors throughout the day. You shouldn't have to worry about rainfall too much until we get into the late night hours. That's when we'll start to see a couple scattered showers pop up. but the main rainfall event will be on Saturday. Luckily, in terms of rain chances for Monday, as you kind of get back to normal life, kick off your work week, head back to your regular commute, sunny skies will be there, so hopefully we really won't have anything in the way of rain to kind of make traffic and things like that worse, or just give you a worse case of the Monday blues. Overall, things will improve after Saturday. So that is the current look at things for the upcoming weekend and your extended forecast. Meteorologist Alex Pry will actually be back tomorrow, so you can hear from him again at 11 a.m. But thank you so much for joining me while I've been filling in for him this week, and I will be back here on Saturday. You can join Alex tomorrow morning right here at 11 a.m.